One.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Lindsay Marie Brown and our very good friend, Elena Denisova Clark.
Hi there.
Hi, we're so happy that you're here. And just a
Thank-
little backstory, Elena and Lindsay and I know one another from a play company festival company that we were in, yes, right? And so we have a lot of history. And now we're just so overjoyed that you're here, and we want to hear your story. You're an actress, a producer, a writer. Also, you have a little bit of a legal background, and you're from a very interesting place in the world. So I think we want to hear about that. Lindsay, what else? What are you thinking? I know you have questions too, but
Absolutely. No, I second all of that. I mean, I have a million questions that I can't wait to ask you, but I think a wonderful place to start, Elena, is just for you to say hi and tell us about yourself. I think the thing that I'm most excited maybe to hear about first is what your story has been like, how you got to where you're at, because I'm so interested to hear about your films, your production company, and the work that you do. But I also know that you had a whole journey getting here. And Maggie and I always really love to say that everyone has a story that's worthy of being told. And yours is so incredible. And we're so excited to hear yours. So wherever you want to start, jump on in and we'll just be here to kind of listen and guide along the way.
Absolutely. And hi, ladies, and hi, Maggie and Lindsay. So I'm so happy to be here with you, and thank you for having me here. So I, as you mentioned before, so yes, we met at New Short Play Festival where I enjoyed your work on stage, and hope you enjoyed my work on stage.
we
So
did.
Absolutely. So this is how, and I had you on my podcast as well, which I have on YouTube, and I had a great time with talking to you. So thank you for having me today and talking to me about my and sharing my story. So yes, I was born and raised in Soviet Russia in 80s, and I when the Soviet Union collapsed in 90s, my family my parents became entrepreneurs in the new world in Russia, and they were able to succeed so much that um, so they built like kind of like I think small wealth in the new capitalistic world in Russia back then, and uh, this made this this journey made me because I worked in family business as a lawyer, and I worked in real estate field. I represented my clients in cases related to real estate because it was a huge mess in uh, in uh, in regulations related to real estate in Russia at that time because of post-Soviet laws were in conflict with uh, the title and ownership during the Soviet Union period. So I worked as a lawyer, and I worked on I established a legal firm, which I successfully sold later to become an entertainer in the United States. So I came to the United States to entertain people, and I still love to do this. And this is kind of short story about me, short background I have.
So I have a question, Elena. So you did you go to law school in
Yes.
this in the Soviet? Okay, and is it the same kind of in Russia? Is it the same kind of program? Is it a 4 year situation like it is in the States?
No, it's different because in Russia, uh, so in Russia, the legal system is civil law based on
Right.
civil law.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little different.
And did
I
you like doing that though?
I so in Russia, I basically my work was reflecting, new reality and new laws which we had to interpret, and present to the court. And this is how we created a precedent. I remember I wrote so many claims, which I won in the court. And for my clients, they were all related to the real estate title. And I won 90% of those cases. And my defendant was a local administration, which gave my clients, a hard time to basically register their title, because in Russia at that time the people, if they wanted to, for example, inherit property or sell it, they had to have a clear title that it belongs to an individual, and this is what we did. So I worked in that specific area, in that specific niche, helping people, to
that's great.
Register their rights.
So do you think that your experience, especially in court, I find that so fascinating, is that where you kind of learned that you wanted to be an entertainer? Or was that something else besides everything you did legally? Did you know that from a young age that you wanted to be in the entertainment industry? Did you find that through law? How did that passion kind of ignite inside of you?
So I always when even I was a lawyer, I always used to take classes, acting classes or singing classes, some piano classes. So I always was doing something creative at the same time. And at some point, I just decided I don't want to live in that town anymore, and I want to see the world, I want to share something more. I wasn't sure exactly at that point if I want to come to the United States. So it took me a while to make this decision. I first lived in England, and I studied English there.
Wow.
For a couple of years, it took a couple of years to learn English and the basics. And then I came to the United States in 2014 to do my MBA here. So I wasn't, and I started taking classes here, voice lessons, acting classes, some dance classes. So I always wanted to be close to entertainment industry, to show business. And then suddenly, when I was introduced to New York theater, to New York stage, I decided, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to entertain people as an actress. I want to be in the projects, plays, and which tell the story. So,
where did you get your MBA, Elena?
Monroe College.
Perfect, but you're a smart cookie. I mean, this one is like, don't let the blonde hair fool you, my friends, right? And right, so gorgeous, and I love. But don't you? Or well, you answer the question. Do you think that being an attorney, because I feel that attorneys, in a way, they're presenters, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're performers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think? So did you gain a lot of confidence being an attorney? I mean, I would think that would give you a massive stage for preparing you for what you were going into, right?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, being in the courtroom, it's basically is similar as to be on stage. The feeling is the same. So you feel like
you're on stage and you're getting paid a lot more.
Exactly. Yes. So you.
Oh, I'm just teasing.
You have your lines in the claim. You have your lines.
Right.
Sometimes you can look and check with your claim, with your script. Sometimes you don't, and you created it or someone gave it to you. I created my claims, so I wrote them all. So I knew what I was doing, and I was able to convince most of the judges, that I was right in bringing my points of view, and it gives me lots of confidence to move forward in a completely new field for me, and especially not being supported by my beloved family, because in my family, entertainment industry, so being an actor or being a showbiz person is not serious. My family takes this as a hobby. So they never believed
Oh, really?
that being an actress or singer is something that can pay my bills or make me successful. They thought that it's just a hobby. So
well, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, they didn't treat me seriously, and it was discouraging in some ways. But they still supported me on my way, on my path, and they still support me even more because they see more my progress and results of my today's work. So that's
Good
why.
for you. That's
Absolutely.
right. And we can't blame those. We can't blame some of our people for not getting it right. We love them still, and they just don't. They want. I think what they want is the best for us. And like I said, that's a whole nother show which we'll talk about. But have you ever played an attorney on television or in film?
No, I did not. I'd love to play an attorney on television or film.
Well, you would. Okay. Well, now you got that. We're good.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so inspiring just hearing about the tenacity, the persistence, the determination that you've had to follow your dreams and follow your goals, even when it didn't make sense to your family and make sense to other people. And I agree with Maggie. I think the people around us that sometimes don't get our dreams, whether it's in acting or in anything else, a lot of times they are reacting that way out of fear because they just want us to be happy and be successful. And I've experienced that on my path as an actor, but also as an entrepreneur. But something that's so cool, Elena, is like, look at all those awards all around you.
Yeah.
Like, so amazing that your production company, and I know in particular, one of your recent films is really getting recognized for your art. And of course, in conjunction, going hand in hand with everyone that you work with. I know it's a team, but wow, especially you being the founder of your production company is just so fantastic. So I need to know now that I'm looking at all of those awards. So that's for your film Manifesto, correct?
Yes.
Please tell us about that. Tell us about that project.
Sure.
Great name, by the way.
Thank you. So, how Manifesto started and how it got all these awards and more, actually. So I just don't have space now, the wall behind me. And Bruce Bonafede, you know him, he's a playwright. He worked as a playwright in New Short Play Festival, and I played in a couple of his productions before the pandemic. And then in 2021, during the pandemic, he sends me another play. And he says, well, there might be a role for you. Look it up. And if the world is not going to go to the end and we will be back to normal, probably we'll see it on stage. I read the play, and there is a role for me, Marianne. And so and it was 2021 lockdown, and I saw many of my friends like yourselves moving to online platforms and still keep doing your work, your artistic work. And I thought, I just can't wait to share this story, because the story Manifesto is about how Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels is writing a communist manifesto in a comedy, in kind of a comedic form. And I came from communism, and I see what's happening now in the United States. And I decided to share that story. So I asked Kai Fujisawa to direct it. She agreed, and she did cast other two male characters, Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx. So we did it on Zoom during the lockdown, and I started to submit to some festivals, film festivals, with no expectation to be recognized or get a platform to screen the film. But it took me by surprise that so many festivals started to respond to our short film, and we started winning awards. And so at this point in 2023, we have 9 awards in 4 international film festivals, and one of them is this one, Washington D.C. International Cinema Festival, and we are invited to join a gala this Sunday, April 30th, in Washington D.C. So the manifesto will be screening there in Angelica Pop-Up Cinema Theater in Union Market. So and it will be followed by the gala and award ceremony. So it's very exciting. And to be honest, I submitted this film to only a few festivals, and we got so much interest from industry, from people who voted for us. And I thought, wow, this is something that people get. Communist manifesto, communal property, sharing everything in an ideal society. So canceling the private ownership. And this is what I was doing as a lawyer. I was fighting for people who had troubles to have their legalize their title on their property. So this resonates with me a lot, the story of Communist Manifesto. So this is how the Communist Manifesto was written, and this is what it's done to my country. During the 70 years in communism was basically the rule of law in Russia, and it's not good.
It's not good. But and what a personal story though for you, right? And I think those are always the best.
That's why I
have to add a little aside here because we were laughing about the background noise. Obviously, you're in New York, Elena, because there are no sirens in Indiana and none in Florida either. So you're in New York, right? You're representing.
And you know when you're a real New Yorker, when the siren goes by and you don't even blink, you don't even stop because it's just the traffic noise is happening all the time. And as soon as I heard that siren, I was like, oh, home. Like I miss that. I'm like, oh, that's like my
ever miss it because I don't want anyone to be hurt. But it's such a noise that you're used to hearing when you're in New York, right?
Yeah.
That you almost don't even. And like I said, it's just so rando for
just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like another thing. But so this story is super personal for you, is my guess,
yes.
Right?
It's personal.
Which makes you love it even more. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It. So I'm saying what's changed. I came to the United States from communism because even when communism. So when the Soviet Union collapsed with the communistic system, right, in 90s, still there was lots of post-communism, post-communistic reality there. It relates to people's mentality, the way how people treat each other. It's how to describe this. For instance, my family thrived in 90s because they became entrepreneurs, and they sent me to law school, which was expensive, and they bought my first studio apartment for me when I was at the age of 20. So this is what capitalism gave. This opportunity capitalism gave to my family. They thrived in the post-communist world, but we experienced so much jealousy from other people who had this mentality of taking but not creating, not producing, not sharing. You know, communism is about to take and share and spread. And I think this is not what human beings, our nature is based on, because we are more encouraged to give when we have this freedom to create and share and have and benefit from this. This is a free market economy, for God's sake, right? And when I came to the United States, I saw it, and now I see the opposite process. More like, so people get punished for creating and producing and for being entrepreneurs. People get punished. For example, just a few days ago, a new law came up now. So people with good credit scores will pay more interest rate on mortgage. This is not capitalism. This is more. This relates more to a communism to me, because during the communism, we had like communities where some people would work, some people wouldn't, but everyone would be equally rewarded. It discourages the person who works more. It discourages me to create and produce more, But if I'm rewarded according to my benefits, according to my input, then I want to do more. If it makes sense. And when I'm seeing some processes started to happening in the United States now, which remind me of communism, I want to share this story even more, because history repeats itself. So, and the next step will be, so right now we're working on adaptation. I and Pierre Guy, we write an adaptation of Manifesto by Bruce Bonafede, which will turn into the short film under 30 minutes.
Wow.
And then we will,
will
be the actual production, yes, of short feature film. This is our next step. So now we are working on the film script, the screenplay.
A screenplay. And this is first of all, I want to say to Lyndsey and to you, knowing you both personally, you are both two of the most magnanimous, gracious, caring, benevolent, kind cheerleaders for everyone. And I just love that. Love that about both of you.
Thank you, Maggie. I love you too.
Right back at you, Mags.
And just love it. And so that's what I was going to ask you. So that's the next step. Put it in that. Is that where your heart is and your passion is, to put this out there?
Yes.
That's incredible. And I want to say thank you for sharing that, Elena, because especially as someone that's come from a country that you've seen its changes over time, but really understand a different system with communism versus, communism falling, kind of like the in-between to being an American and being in this free market. A lot of people that are born here in America don't travel very much, don't have the resources to become educated about these different systems, don't really understand the changes of our own country and our own economy at all. And so to see it from a different perspective, or to see it from your lens, I think can be really eye-opening for a lot of people. And so thank you for your courage to share your story, to share your point of view. And the fact that it's getting recognized and seen, winning these awards, being invited to this incredible gala coming up, congratulations. And I think that's when you've created art, is when you feel connected to it in your heart. Other people will feel connected to it in theirs as well. So good for you. And thank you for sharing this. I wanted to ask you too. So I know that your production company is called EDC World Incorporated, correct? Or EDC World Inc. Did you create that production company specifically for Manifesto, or was that something else that you kind of had in mind? Was it, I guess what I'm saying is, which came first, and is your production explicitly linked to Manifesto, or will you be producing other things in the future as well?
That's an interesting question, Lyndsey. Well, let me jump into the dates here because I never thought about this. Good question. So, EDC World Inc. was established in 2020 in August, and Manifesto, I held a script of Manifesto first time in my life in 2021. So the company was established first, and it was established as a production company. Yes, right. And it didn't produce anything before Manifesto. So I kind of had this maybe feeling, an idea about to start something, to do something on my own project. And this is how I established. That's why I established the company. And then the project came. So that's how it happened. Interesting, yes. And yes, it will be. I hope EDC World will be producing more and more work, and I believe in, and I collaborate with other artists and producers and directors, actors based on my company. So
That's
I
wonderful.
hope it has the red light, green light, and good to go.
Yeah. Well, how interesting that you had that intuitive nudge, right? Being like, I would love to have a project on my own. Like maybe I'll start a production company. And then it was there and ready as soon as the right project came in. And I, just for my own intuition and my own personal hope, is that you do continue producing. And I love the description. I'm sure it's on maybe your website. I know it's on the Instagram page for EDC World, that you love making fun and engaging films that talk about different global topics. And who doesn't want to talk about global topics and be educated about different things in kind of a lighthearted, satirical way? It's a way to sort of balance the seriousness of the world with also a little bit of lightheartedness, which I think is so important in art, especially for it to be more deeply received. It's like that that intimidation factor with kind of learning new things or exploring new concepts. Comedy just has a beautiful way of kind of melting that intimidation or melting that wall. So that's fantastic, Elena. Thank you so much for sharing.
It is fantastic, right?
It really is.
I have a question. Did you guys do a show together? Did you and Elena ever do a show together in the company, or am I dreaming this? Did you guys do a Frank Dunham thing together?
Was it a play with a rock star? And what was it?
No, I don't know.
I know that Elena and I were going to work on a project together that I actually had to back out of, and you were in it, Maggie, too, weren't you? Weren't the three of us? Wasn't it a play by Nikki, or who wrote that play?
No, I know you. I know you and I were going to do. Elena and I have never worked together. You and I definitely have worked a lot together.
Yeah.
But I don't. For some reason, I thought you guys were actually in a show together. But what I wanted to give a shout out to both of you, beautiful young ladies, and I find this so interesting, is that you know how people say, "Oh, I'll believe it when I see it." I think both of you guys come from the place of "I'll see it when I believe it," and you've done that. Lyndsey's done it. You've done it. You were talking about the manifesto, you just saw in your heart. Lyndsey's seen a ton of things in her heart and she's brought it to fruition, which I just think is an amazing thing that you guys have done.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I only believe in putting out their work you believe into, which is more personal. I don't believe in success of projects which are not personalized for the person. Because how can we convince the audience if we are not convinced ourselves?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's talk. I want you to talk more about that, Elena, because that's a thing that's important. So tell me what you, and I know Lyndsey feels the same way, because we all, I can't, if I don't believe in it, I'm not going to tell you to get it, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about that. Tell me something that, and maybe, I don't know, maybe a story from, if you can, when you were little, like that made you, yeah, tell me a little girl story.
Ooh, a good or bad?
Well, there's nothing bad.
Your pick.
So,
Well, when I was a little girl and I grew up in 80s during the communist period in Russia, I remember some very, very communistic stories. So Russian people had money at that time, but they couldn't buy anything. We had empty shelves because one of the aspects of communism is central planning, and central planners tend to think that they know better what people need. So they plan how much uh, goods and services the certain city or area must have. So as a result, we had almost nothing, empty shelves and long lines of people waiting, trying to get to buy something after work or on the weekend. And I love chocolate. I just love chocolate. Oh my God, no, I really loved it. And I remember we couldn't buy chocolate. We had money, but we couldn't buy it. And social workers, I remember social workers would knock our door every month and give us, very unhappy ladies usually, like very never smiling ladies. And if I would open the door, so I would be terrified. Did I do something wrong? Why she why she come here? Anyway, so those ladies would come to there were social workers and would come to every family every month and hand us the tickets for a certain amount of goods and services, for goods, food. For instance, they could, because we were a family of 4, they would give us only maybe tickets to buy a certain amount of chocolate for 4 people. And so, of course, my parents used those tickets to buy the chocolate, and it was never enough because they would split it between all family members. And I love chocolate so much, so I would eat my portion right away, and my sister didn't eat it right away, so she would just put it aside or hide it somewhere, and I would find it and steal it from her. Yes. So that was, and of course I got punished later, but because I did something bad, but I just loved it so much, and we couldn't have it. We couldn't get most of the things that you can just get in a minute walking out of your apartment or house in the supermarket across the street or any convenience store. We couldn't get it. We just
do you ever find yourself now that you're living in New York and living this beautiful life and all your success, and you remember that because and you walk out and you go to every bodega or any grocery and there's just chocolate everywhere, right? Do you ever kind of catch yourself like as the adult Elena and go back to that and be like, oh, right?
Yes, the prosperity of this country. And by the way, my very, very first visit of the United States and specifically New York was in 1996 when I was a teenager. And we were amazed. We still had that post-Soviet, society, post-Soviet, shortage of everything. And we were just stunned by the prosperity that the United States offered us, and that we could have everything we liked in whatever free market can offer in all the variety of things. And we were stunned, just stunned. Yeah. Clothes, food, treats, chocolate, everything.
Chocolate, yeah.
And we still didn't have enough of it. I remember my feeling. I was just shocked in a good way. And then I told to myself, I want to come back. Yeah.
And you said that's where I want to be.
Yes. And this is how I probably unconsciously I put it out there to the universe, and it happened. So later it happened. And it wasn't easy to immigrate to the United States. It's not easy. It's not easy. It took me a while. And now when I'm an proud American citizen, and I'm citizen by choice, and I pledged the allegiance to the United States on October 17th, 2022. I was so proud.
Oh, wow. That gives me goosebumps.
That's so exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
American by choice. Yes, I'm Russian. I love both countries, and it breaks my heart to see how relationship between two countries developing right now. But I'd love Americans and Russians to be friends.
I would too.
Me too.
And let's put that out there. Let's put that out in the
Me too.
universe, and
Yes.
let's do that for everybody. That's just not just we've got so much to heal. But I love that you said that. I love that, and it is a totally different country. And I always laugh and tell Lyndsey, because I'm from Kentucky, and I feel like that's a totally different country, but on so many levels. But you know what? We can still love where we're from and love all the good things about it and move it into a healing factor, right? And we're all just human. That's the thing. I think if we can just figure that out, it's really so easy. I think we're making it a lot harder than it needs to be.
I agree, Maggie. Yes.
Yeah. But something that I find really hopeful is knowing that there are people like you, Elena, that are taking their experience and their point of view and are making it into art. And art is something that is a universal language, just like music. Music is a universal language. Even just words, even though, yes, there are many different actual languages, the technology we have to be able to translate things, even body language, that's universal. And energy between two people, between multiple people, between groups of people, is just so magical. So please keep creating. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I feel like every time I see chocolate now, I'm going to think of you and be like, I'm so grateful that I can eat this chocolate. Like, that is an amazing story. So thank you for sharing. One of the ways that Maggie and I love to wrap up podcast episodes is with a quick few rapid fire questions. So you can just answer in a word or a quick sentence, and they're just fun and kind of silly, but they're just ways for us and for the audience to get to know you a little bit better. So is it okay if I kind of like rapid fire some questions at you?
I think we already know the first one.
What is it?
What's our favorite food?
Oh yeah, what is your favorite food? Chocolate, right?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just teasing, but I just like.
I love that. Well, Elena, what is your favorite food?
Fish.
Ooh,
Fish.
Love that.
Mm.
Okay. Any type of fish?
I like all kind of fish as long as it's
Fresh.
from the ocean. I like the seafoods, and I love seafoods. I'm a huge eater of seafoods and fish. And in New York is perfect. Has a perfect delivery. Delivery of the offer of fish and seafoods.
Amazing. So what's your favorite season? What's your favorite time of the year?
Right now it's spring. I used to think that summer, but no longer. It's too hot for me. But spring, when it slightly goes towards summer, it's my favorite. Like something like in 70s, maybe light rain, when the nature is blossoming. I really like when the nature is picking up, like the person is picking up on life, or a growing child, and this is what talks to me.
Yeah, it's a very gentle time of the year. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Okay, so next, what is your favorite color and why?
Nice. Blue. I like blue, and I like all kind of blue shades. Why? Oh, because of sky. Clear sky on a nice day has this blue and a water. I like to swim, so that's why I like all the variations of blue. Yeah.
Beautiful. What a great
When's
answer.
your birthday, Elena?
What's that?
When's your birthday?
Oh, November 21. November 21st.
Nice.
I'm a water sign.
Water, yeah, exactly. That
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So final question, what are you grateful for today? It could be the thing that you're most grateful for. It could be something that happened today. It could be the same answer as every other day. But what are you grateful for today that you are open to sharing with us right now?
I'm grateful for where I am now, for opportunities that I was able to access in my life, and that they're still unfolding for me. And I think it's because I'm in the United States. I think this land is still full of opportunities, and for entrepreneurs, for people who are big thinkers. So, and I think it's still possible to achieve great results and big dreams here. And I believe my American dream came true and keep unfolding and coming even more true for me because of this land.
Wow.
I think so. This is how I'm grateful to the United States for my friends and people I know, and including yourselves, ladies. So I'm very grateful for my connections and friends who know me, and I enjoy to have in my life.
Wow, we're going to see, I think, big things from you, and you spread joy in every room that you walk in, and we're so excited for you. For is the festival tomorrow?
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Okay, so we will be thinking about you. We're going to stay tuned and can't wait to hear. And again, looking forward to just big things to come from you, Elena, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Where's Lyndsey?
We lost Lyndsey. Where did she go? I don't know. Wait, that's not
Looking
like
at
her.
her, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe connect.
There
Here
she is.
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know where I went. All of a sudden,
Are
I
you
was just
practicing a
out.
magic trick that we don't know about?
I don't know. That was a weird. Literally, I was just watching, and my computer booted me out. But I am back.
Great.
And Elena, I not to jump in. I know you two were probably just talking, but
No, we were saying just looking forward to great things, you know?
absolutely. I think that was just such a grounded, amazing answer. We are also so thankful for your journey, for your artistry. We are so grateful to know you. Just like Maggie said, you spread joy into every single room you walk into. So thank you so much for sharing your energy with us today, for sharing your story. For anybody watching or listening, we are going to be linking all of Elena's information down below in the description to this video, so you can check out her production company. You can check out the trailer for Manifesto as well. We're super excited to share that. I'll share all of Elena's social media information, so please go check her out. Please support Elena and all other small businesses and artists like her.
Ladies,
again, Elena.
And the women, and we're gonna, and I'm really feeling excited. Elena, I think you brought up something so great, and so many great things that you shared with us, and thanks for your vulnerability. But I think we're gonna come back, and you're gonna be on the show. We're gonna talk about those of us that are artists that have families that think that what we do is a hobby.
I love it.
What do you think? Anybody out there resonating to that?
I'm in.
I'm in.
Okay. All right.
You have me.
Stay tuned. That's going to be a great one.
Of this.
I'm pretty sure there's other people out there that know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And Elena, I really appreciate you bringing that up. I thought that was awesome, because I know it's a thing that Lyndsey and I have had a lot of laughs about. So I just cherish the fact that you brought it to light.
Absolutely. Well, we are so excited to see you next time, Elena. Thank you again for being here. For anyone, again, watching this, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and like it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos and amazing interviews like this one. And especially if you want to see the episode we were just talking about, where we have Elena back and talk about support along our journeys, or sometimes lack thereof, and what that's like navigating it. But we will see you next time. Thanks for being here. And we will see you next week for another episode.
We love you guys.